everyone, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Ciro. This is gonna be the second video in our holiday baking series. Today we are doing buñuelos. If you do not know what those are, you're missing out. Stay tuned. Alright, so this recipe is pretty simple. The ingredients are on screen. Feel free to pause the video, write down all the ingredients that you need. This recipe will yield about 6 buñuelos. If you want more, just double, triple the recipe, right? Simple math. First, we're gonna make the dough. Then we will flatten out portioned out dough. Then we will fry the flattened out, portioned out dough. Then we're just gonna sprinkle it with sugar, and then you can eat it. So let's go. Step 1, making dough. Cup of flour going in, pinch of salt going in, half teaspoon baking powder, baking soda, half tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of shortening. That's gonna be pretty much all of your dry ingredients. We're gonna incorporate this. Try to dissolve the shortening as much as possible. At this point, you can also add the optional vanilla extract, just a dash. And again, this is optional. You don't gotta do that at all if you don't want to. All right, now that all my dry ingredients are incorporated, I'm going to add the water slowly. And my water is warm. If you have warm water, will work best. The consistency that we're looking for is kind of like flour tortillas. That's kind of what we're looking for in our dough. If you've never made flour tortillas, there's a video that I made a while back, a long time ago, about flour tortillas. I will post it in the description. Make sure to go and take a look. I would add the water very slowly, because if you make it too sticky, the only way to fix the problem is to add more dry ingredients. And because there's quite a few dry ingredients, you don't want to mess up the proportions. So add the water very slowly. So my mom taught me a trick long time ago. Whenever you're going to handle dough with your hands, if you dip your fingers in a little bit of oil, it will help so that the dough doesn't get all sticky to your hands. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna only do a little bit, just enough to keep the dough from sticking, not enough to alter the dough. Beautiful. Beautiful, it's not sticking. Look at that. That's what you're looking for right there. I'm going to let this dough rest maybe about 5 minutes. You don't have to let it rest that long, but there is a little bit of baking soda. I want it to do its work now that it's incorporated with the water. So I'm gonna rest this 5 minutes. So right now the dough is resting. So this is the perfect time for me to give an announcement. Like previously mentioned, this is our second video in our holiday baking series. We have some awesome bakes coming up. We have my wife's famous apple pie. We have my wife's famous pumpkin pie, delicious. We're also gonna feature arroz con leche that my father-in-law makes. I got the recipe from him and it's gonna be delicious. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you are, go ahead and make sure the little notification icon is selected so you can be notified whenever I drop these videos. We post cooking videos every Friday. I also started to do some entertainment content. I'm taking these online quizzes, right, to prove how good of a chef cooker I really am. So y'all go check out my playlist. It's called Culinary Quizzes, Quizzing with Ciro. It's a pretty good, fun little mini series that we're doing. So the dough has now rested. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, well rested. It smells pretty good. So this next stage is like a 2-part thing, okay? We are going to portion out all of our dough. We're gonna make little dough balls. Once the dough is all portioned out in dough balls, this is gonna be the process. We're going to grab 1 dough ball, flatten it out with a rolling pin. Then we're going to deep fry it. We're just gonna fry these in a fry pan. I'm gonna use just 1 cup of oil. It doesn't have to be a lot of oil, just enough to gently submerge the buñuelo. All right, so our cup of oil going in. That should be enough right there. It just needs to be enough for our buñuelo to sit in. We're not gonna bring this up to a boil, but it does have to be hot. So if you remember, this recipe was gonna yield 6 buñuelos, so I'm gonna half that, and then I'm going to make this into 3. We're going to gently flour our rolling surface and our rolling pin. That way the dough doesn't get stuck to it. You want to make these as flat as possible. The flatter, the better. And as you can tell, I'm not good at rolling. These should be perfect circles. So I'm not good at rolling. It's just lack of practice, I guess. But we'll do our best. All right. It's not a perfect circle, but it's close enough for Cooking with Ciro. So I'm going to grab a little bit of flour and toss it in and see if it's good. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's good right there. My first buñuelos going in. You want these to be golden. You don't want them to be too brown though. You hear that? Nice. They're gonna be a little greasy coming out, so you can put a little paper towel to drain the grease. This is very quick. Probably 20 seconds, 30 seconds per side, and then they come out. All right, so our buñuelos are out of the oil. They're looking good. They're smelling great. They smell like flannel cake, but better. The final step is very, very simple. We're gonna sprinkle this with sugar. Now, some people do sugar and cinnamon. I'm only going to do sugar, but if you wanna do cinnamon, you are more than welcome to do it. My rolling technique isn't the best yet, so some of these are not perfect circles. However, they will be perfect buñuelos nonetheless, and delicious. So if you've ever had sopapillas, these are very similar, with the exception that these buñuelos, they're gonna be way thinner, and this is a traditional Mexican pastry. And there y'all have it, how to make traditional buñuelos, okay? Let's give them a taste. This is good. Just like my mom's. Delicious. Like the video, share the video, subscribe, all that jazz. And guess what? If you don't like this video, you didn't, it's okay. I'm gonna make another video going like that video.